it going today? Welcome to All Levels Yoga. Today we'll be going through quite a bit. I'm hoping to get through a few more moves today. And as always, you're welcome to modify or create poses that fit or suit you better. So as always, no matter where we practice, we are honoring ourselves in the moment and hoping at the end of this hour that we have arrived in a more connected, strong, and united force within ourselves. So today, as we get started, we will be starting in a seated pose. So welcome yourself, find your mat, sitting just nice and comfortably in any leg position you would like. I'm in easy cross leg, but again, this is where the modifications begin. How do we create a seated pose that fits where we are taking ourselves today? As you settle in, I'm seeing a few of you commenting. I appreciate that. And I think it's also awesome how some of you have been forwarding some photos of you practicing and following along to Four Corners Yoga. It really serves to lighten our hearts a bit to see that you're joining us, participating with us, and being more present in your day-to-day new life here for a few weeks anyway, and we're just happy to be a part of it. So let's just stop for a moment right where we are. Start our breathing. I'm going to suggest we start with our hands together at our hearts. I like to press the back of my thumbs right up against my heart and just even notice the energy that I'm already feeling that is expanding from that space. And start a breath work that seems to expand what you're already connected to, that heart. So as you inhale and exhale, just feel that connectedness to you, to that heart space, the heart chakra, that leads us always with a more positive, better outlook as we focus in. And then close your eyes and start to bring the breath maybe a little lower into the abdominal area, down low, as if to fill the bottom of a water pitcher with that full breath. And then you imagine that that breath continues to fill until you notice that the pitcher of water is full. And then let it go. So sometimes visuals can help us perceive a feeling or a desire within the body, so that filling up the pitcher with some cool, fresh water and then letting go. 2 more breaths right here. Starting to notice how we are feeling more connected already. Let's keep our hands together and just stretch over your head. Let your arms wander a little bit and create some nice long stretches side to side, just small to start. And then when you're ready, let's start some side bends. Just take your time, drawing your hands over your head as you inhale and exhaling to the sides. And even the pace of the class can be changed as you see fits you and your strengths and weaknesses today, whatever they are. Both are just there for you to see as a road to travel through and be inspired by. So we're learning lessons by not only what we can do, but even more importantly, where we feel resistance or a lack of space. So take your time with these side bends. Fill up with your breath, and then meet me back with your arms over the top of your head. And let's just turn our wrists around a few times, spread those fingers out, and then stretch the palms back up over your head with a full breath. And releasing into cactus, arms are spread out, draw the crown of the head up, pull the shoulders even further down, and then start a twist. Let's take it all the way to the left, right hand over the knee, and take a nice gaze over your shoulder. Nice work. And then come up with that strong stretch, meeting me back at the front. And then into cactus. Exhaling into your twist. Left hand over the right knee as you look over your right shoulder. Finding those breaths that make you more aware of every sensation in your body. Inhale, meet me back at the top. Big stretch and hands to your heart. Good. We're going to take our hands behind us, prop up your fingers, and let's just stretch those legs out. Roll on your hips, lengthening a bit, and then press into your finger pads and let's come into a forward fold. Don't need to be doing anything 100% just yet. We're just welcoming ourselves and looking for that inspiration and that intention of how we might move and practice our yoga today to help inspire a more healthy, positive outlook. Stretch your hands out in front, drop your nose just as low as you can now and shake your head, ah. Try to drop your elbows on your next breath, taking everything just a little lower. And then on your next deep breath, let's roll up slowly, bending our right knee, getting ready for a twist here. Both arms over your head, big nice lift here, it feels so good. And then you'll twist to the right again, grabbing a hold of that right knee and looking over your shoulder. Take some time to try to lengthen your spine with deep breaths here. And then a more advanced pose is left hand grabbing that right foot, extending it forward as you reach your right hand, lifting it up to the back of the room. One more breath here, brace into the core, and then we'll drop the foot down if you lifted it, and meet me back in a nice, easy forward fold. Head down all the way. And then roll back on your next deep breath. We'll bend the left knee, stretch up really nice and tall with both arms. And then we'll twist to the left, right arm grabbing that knee and looking behind you, working on that tall back and deep breathing. Again, more advanced pose, right hand grabbing the left foot and extending it forward, lifting up the left hand behind you and brightly expanding from the tailbone to the crown of the head. One more breath. And then meet me back in a nice forward fold. Foot down, easy drop down. And roll up on your next breath. Good job so far. Let's go ahead and bend our knees and just take a moment to wrap your arms around your shins. Bow your head and soften into your back. Take some full breaths like you're lifting the breath underneath the shoulder blades and shoulders as if to expand some tightness that might be riding up and down your back. Let's do that again. And then sit up nice and tall with me. Open up your arms, look up, take a deep breath, and then come right back to that rounded spine. We'll do that one more time. Big breath, look up even higher, and then roll back down. Let's place our hands behind our knees next, moving towards boat pose. Feet up, take a moment to roll the shoulders down, and then just lean back, and then bring your heart and knees close to each other. So this would be what I would consider more a basic boat flow. For those of you who can take it further, maybe lift the feet up, and then draw the chest and knees towards each other and expand out. And if you really want to get into it, we're going to be doing this for a while. Feel free to take a bigger expansion and back to a contraction in. So inhale and exhale at any of the levels that work for you. I'm showing you all of them. Again, heels can stay down. And you can even do that very first series where we open our arms, find a strong core, and wrap around. So on your own, just try at least 3 more, just really waking up that core, warming up your body with this strong movement. And then when you're done, you'll see if you can maybe move through the struggle of one more. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and then place the feet down and join me in cobbler, knees apart, feet together. And a soft journey down with our heads towards our feet. Let go here. So a lot of times we tend to hold up our head when we don't need to, and this is probably one of them. Now my head's up because I want you to be able to hear me, but I want you to let the full weight of your head, at least 10 pounds. Most of you are probably heavier than that. You're awfully smart. I know most of you, and you're all smart people, so I think you have a little more brains in there, and let that whole head fall down, and then maybe nod your head just letting go, maybe even shake it a bit, no. And then join me upright, nice deep breath. All right, let's take it onto our hands and knees next. When you're ready, table position. Feel free to move around a little organically as we move into some more warming up here. And then finding your way to your first cow, deep breath, long expanded back, followed by cat, letting all the breath out as you try to draw your chin towards your heart. Back to cow when you're ready. And we'll just continue a few of these spinal rolls. I want you to close your eyes if you're comfortable and really just address where you're feeling any resistance in your spinal column as you roll. Most of us have some resistance somewhere, so just pick it up, not to criticize, not to react negatively, but just to say there is something there that maybe by the end of the class I'm able to release and let go of as we slowly find more and more space. Join me in table, nice flat back, stretching your right leg behind you, dropping your toe. And then let's just push back through that heel and drop your head again. Coming into a balanced pose on our next breath. Right leg up, nice and strong. And left arm up. So stay here. I'm going to face you again. Or let's do a series of drawing the elbow to the knee as we exhale and then inhaling back. So another option would be keep the left hand down and just come back and forth with the right knee. Inhaling to extend, exhaling to bring it in, and inhaling to extend, exhaling to bring it back in. And then one more, right leg's gonna stay back, drop your left hand, and you're gonna bend the right knee and try to bring your right toe to the ceiling. So if you were looking at yourself in the mirror, you're gonna try to be able to see your foot above your head. Good, and then bring a nice external rotation to that right knee and stretch it out. And let's all, with a straight leg, drop our right foot down. Roll onto the outer edge of your foot. Left arm stays straight. Lift your torso away from your left hand and lift your right hand up. And then on your next breath, let's take a moment to turn the chest towards the ceiling and reach that right hand back to the left. Push now down with your right heel. Notice how good that feels. Try and exhale, sweeping your right hand underneath your left arm. And then let's just try another couple of those. Lifting up and exhaling down. And you have time for one more. And then we'll take our right hand down. So we're going to push down now into our right foot, left shin. Walk your hands back closer towards your left knee, and when you're ready, look forward and bring your hands up onto your hips. This is called gate. And then meet me in a stretch over your head with your arms. Good, nice stretch here. See how good that feels. Brace your core, and then let's side bend over that straight leg. Big stretch. Inhale, bring the arms back to center, and then let's exhale and lean a strong core. Let's do that a few times. Breath comes up as you rise up. Exhale, strong core, bending out. And then all the way up and over to the side. Let's try it one more time. Big stretch over your head. And then up high with a deep breath. This time as we lean, we're going to keep leaning. Drop your left hand. And then some of you might join me in a balance, right leg up. Right hand tries to touch the ceiling. And then maybe add a bind. Option to kick that foot into that hand and open up. You're doing great so far. Where have you found some discomfort? And then just try to not necessarily modify, but modify your reaction to it. How can we create a better outlook and a positive experience by just changing our thoughts to be a positive reaction versus negative? Good. Let's go ahead and bring that right foot back out straight, right hand up, and then join me back in gate. Find your way all the way up. Big breath, stretch to the ceiling. Draw your hands back down to the floor. And then you're going to pick up that right leg and swing it behind you all the way to the left. Push the ball of foot in the floor and look over your left shoulder. Take some time to push down with the right foot strong and move your hips further to the right. Join me back in table, and let's just take a nice easy movement right to left. And then we're going to try some of those same things again. When you're ready, left foot's going to pick up and stretch behind you from table, ball of foot down, head down. Taking a breath just to let your head fall as you exhale, and then joining me in a balance. Left leg up, right arm up, and we're taking some nice deep breaths here. I'm going to switch and face you again. Or you're bringing the knee to the elbow and breathing out for extension. So good for the back and core to work together here. Again, another option is to keep the hands down and just move that left leg. Inhaling, full extension behind you. Exhaling, the knee underneath you. We're doing a few more of these. Just take your time. Use that deep breathing to carry you through this challenge. Inhale and exhale. Let's just do one more. Meet me in extension of the left leg and drop your right hand. And then bend the left knee and try to bring that left toe as high to the ceiling as over your head as you can. Try to see if you feel it above the head. Back is an extension, arms are straight here. Good, and then we're going to externally rotate that left knee, extend that left leg, and then we'll all drop it straight on down. Look at it, roll onto the full bed of your foot. Right hand is underneath the right shoulder. Left chest starts to lift away from your right hand, and then your left hand's trying to touch the ceiling as we gaze up. On your next breath, let's turn the chest to the ceiling and reach further back to the right with that left hand. Take some time to feel the strength in the pose, pushing into your left heel. One more breath. Let's swing that arm underneath the right, and then back up with a bright breath. Do it again. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And hold here. Good. Join me back down on the floor with your hands. Walk them towards your right knee. Hands up on your hips towards gate. And now a tall stretch. Meet me in a tall stretch gate. Good. Take a nice long breath here. Getting ready to side bend. Right arm over your head. Get a little stronger and lifting up through your core strength. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, bend over, away from your left foot. Inhale up again and exhale. Let's try it again. Full breath in, strong core as you lean. Inhale up, exhale. And let's come up just this last time and lean, dropping the right hand, and see if you can lift that left leg and join me in a balance. So if your left leg is down, that's fine. Bring it up if you can, and maybe even add a bind. So you're kicking into that left foot, turning and looking away from your foot, and just taking a few breaths here. Use your breath to find more space in your body. Good, and then I'm going to have you come back to the balance and join me with an extended left leg behind you. Good, and then swing that left leg over to the right and look over your right shoulder. Good. So push a little firmer into left ball of your foot. Draw the shoulders back, arms are straight, hips are moving away from your foot. Nice deep breath. Great job. And then let's go ahead and come back to table. Easy swinging. Great job. I'm going to have you go ahead and come into curled toes, pushing your hips back. Forward into knee plank, back again when you're ready to push a little stronger over the soles of the feet. Forward to knee plank or full plank. Find one more breath, and then we're all coming back with our hips up high to down dog. And let's just pedal our legs a few times. Shake your head. Nice inhale, exhale. 2 more times, letting your hips move right to left. Dropping those heels. And then we'll push back with both hips and draw the front of our lower ribs towards our lap as we try to expand the spine. Take a full breath here. Head down, everybody. Forward your plank or knee plank. Some of you are ready for chaturanga. And let's just come into a soft upward facing dog or lower in cobra. Whichever one works for you, just sort of move a little bit, even relax your jaw and neck, and push back to child's pose when you're ready. Let's go ahead and sit up, hands on your lap, nice and tall. Place your hands up against your kidneys, nice deep breath here. And then I'm going to have you take your hands slowly on the mat behind you. I like to tent my hands for this. Pull your heart up higher. And then try to push down into the tops of your feet and shins and come up to a hip lift just to get a good stretch up and down the top of the legs. Great. Let's take another breath. Notice how good that feels. I don't know about you, but I feel resistance in my quads. And then we'll come back down. Good job. Walk your hands forward and back into your downward facing dog. Nice deep breaths here. So I'm going to ask you to stay in down dog, bend your knees and pull your hips back. I'm going to have you pick up your right foot and step about halfway towards your right hand and then step back to down dog. And then do the same with your left. Pick out the halfway point and step back. Do it again and back and do it again and back. Good. So this time as you step forward with your right foot at the halfway point, I'm going to have you take your hips back like you're in down dog and feel that good stretch. And then lean forward towards that bent knee. And then take your hips like in a half circle back to the back hip. And then forward to the front knee. So just do that a little. You're going to be meeting me in supported plank. I'm going to move my blanket. And in supported plank, the left or the back foot comes onto the outer edge. The front toes point out and the right hand comes up. So this is a beautiful way to open up the hips to the ceiling. You might even keep a strong straight arm on the ground and lower your left hip. And then come back up. And when you're ready, let's drop the right hand or the high hand down, pick up the leg that stepped halfway, and bring it into three-legged dog. Turn that ankle around a few times, point to the back of the room, and then join me in a mountain climber. Right knee underneath you. Good. I'm going to have you inhale and drop the knee down. Exhale and pick it up as high as it'll go. So let's repeat that a few times. You'll inhale the knee down. More advanced people, you'll just barely brush the shin on the ground before exhaling and picking it up. So I want you to do a few more of these. If you need a break, you'll just simply bring your knee down and rest. Those of you who want to join me in broken arrow, that mountain climber leg will go to the opposite side onto the outer edge of the foot, and then straight legs, left arm up. And yeah, this is a more advanced pose. Feel free to just rest on your knee. You're going to be meeting me back in that mountain climber and then back into three-legged dog. Choices to maybe rest here, maybe take a break, or run through a mini vinyasa with me. Nice strong plank to upward facing dog, and then back to downward facing dog. Good job. So here's the story now. We got the other side to do, so if you need a little break, rest your hands, feel free to do that. We have 2 more breaths. Otherwise, just hang out in your down dog. We're going to be stepping our left foot halfway to our left hand, turning the toes out. And then your back foot comes on to the outer edge just to try it, and then come back. Because before we do that, I'm going to have you stretch back with your hips in a down dog, getting a good stretch in your hips. Feel free to move around a bit. Bend into the front knee and hip, and then swing on back to the back leg that's straight and strong, and then forward to the bent knee, and then back again, and then you're going to join me in your side plank, coming onto that outer edge of that back foot, lifting up your hands, getting your hips up high. Yeah, this is a strong pose. Enjoy it. Use more of your powerful breath to help you. And then some of you keeping that right arm strong, don't let your shoulder collapse. Maybe dropping that right hip for a beautiful stretch. And then all the way back up. Take your time with your breathing, everybody. And taking that left hand down, raising up onto the ball of your back foot and swinging the back knee into 3-legged dog. Point to the room behind you. Take some deep breaths. Good, and then join me in mountain climber. Knee hugs underneath. Take a deep breath, lowering your knee. And then exhale, bringing the knees high as you can. Inhale, drop. Exhale, lift. Push down with those back toes. Good. Drop and lift. Couple more times. If you need a break, you're just letting your knee rest on the mat till you feel like you can join us again. If you want to join me in broken arrow, that bent knee comes underneath to the other side. Edges of the feet are strong. Legs are straight. Big stretch. Take your time. Breathe into the feeling. Breathe into the struggle. Correct any negative thoughts. Join me back in mountain climber and 3-legged dog. Good job. Stay here or rest in any pose or forward through a mini vinyasa. Take your time. Again, your breath is your guide. And back to down dog. Good. Shake your head a bit. I'm going to have you take a nice small step walk to the top of the mat as soon as you're feeling ready to do that. Joining me at the top of the mat and just hanging your head. Give a soft bend to your knees, and let's just take some soft edge swings right to left. We're going to do a small vinyasa flow, and then we're going to come back and do some chair work. So again, at the top of the mat, some of you might need to place your hands on your lap as you bend your knees and rise up. Take a deep breath, coming into your mountain pose and pausing for a moment with me. See if you can correct some of the posture, standing a little taller, maybe taking the crown of your head higher. Noticing if your feet feel uncomfortable, roll them around, spread the toes and push down. Shoulders away from the jaw. Inhale, let's bring our hands over our heads. Look at your hands joining into the heart. Swing out wide again, dropping the head this time and all the way back up. And then a soft spine into your fold. Drop your head. Make sure fingers are on the floor, bending the knees until they are. Half lift extension, look out front. Exhale back to plank or knee plank. Adding your chaturanga if that's in your practice to up dog or cobra. And then back into child's pose. Some of you might take this time to flip your hands up and take a break. Others of you will go through another mini vinyasa. Forward to plank, that chaturanga to up dog. And then we'll all meet back in down dog. Good, let's take a journey back to the top of the mat into a fold. So in our chair series, everybody has a little different positioning of their feet. If you are a beginner, I would say feet a little wider. No harm, no foul there. We're just trying to make all of this work in our bodies. If you like to challenge yourself a little more today, big toes together and an inch or so between your heels. And then just bend the knees and straighten the legs a few times. And try to add a drop of your head when the legs straighten. Easy does it. When you're ready, I want you to find yourself in a deep squat. So if your big toes are together, that means your knees are together. Good. For a challenge, I'm going to ask you to open up your arms, lift your navel off your lap, and hold the squat. Modifiers, maybe hands on the lap for a little help. And then when you're ready, lift your head and arms over your head to full chair. Good. Inhale into an easy back bend stretch. Exhale into a floating squat. Hands behind you. Let's just do that 2 more times. Breath in, big breath out. And 1 more time, holding the big breath out before bringing the hands back over your head in chair. So some of you might want to add a balance here. So we're either just going to hold the strength of our spine with a stronger core, or maybe lift your heels and see if you can't balance. If you fall, no problem. It's not about falling. It's about how you journey back up. Good. And then drop the heels and come into a soft fold. Hands down, hips up, and shake your head. Good. Moving on with chair when you're ready. Take a moment to bend the knees and come into that squat challenge again. Arms out, navel lifted. Even harder would be arms extended out in front of you, or that easier option of hands on the lap. All are good. Keep the navel from dropping onto your lap. Inhale to chair. Find a strong lift. I'm going to turn again. And we're going to do a warrior 1. Stepping back with the right foot. Find a warrior 1 with a strong lift. And then exhale, let your arms just relax down. Good. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, let's come out to the sides. And I want you to swing to the open side. Stretch out. And then swing forward. Finger pads touch. And then swing to the closed twist side. Good. Swing forward. Fingers touch. Stay here, pressing into the finger pads. Or challenge yourself to lean forward. Arms, core lifting up high as you push into that front foot. Everybody's going to take 1 more breath here. Reach your arms over your head. And come into warrior 2. So I'm facing away from you, but you get it. You've got this. Take a moment to rebend that left knee into the strongest warrior 2 that you can. And then place your right hand lightly on your right leg. Left arm reaches to the back of the room. Good. So the bent knee is the arm reaching back. Try turning this into reverse triangle, straightening the front leg and the top arm. Look up. And then stay straight, open up wide with both arms. Take a breath, stretching up. And then come back to parallel arms. Let's drop our left hip back. Push into your back heel. Lean forward, triangle pose. Take your time. Look up at the ceiling to challenge yourself here. Again, this can be way higher with your hand on your lap. Just reaching up, holding a strong presence in your limbs. Return to warrior 2 and take your time. I'm going to have you go ahead and rotate forward with both arms so you're facing forward. Pick up your back heel and then take 1 deep breath in and reaching up over your head. Let's take our arms back just a bit and lean forward. So level 1, this might be your warrior 3 today. Level 2, push off that toe, hey, and if you fall, just push off of it again. Be a little playful, don't be hard on yourself. Hold your warrior 3, try to brighten it up with a deeper breath. Great, 1 more breath, can you straighten the back leg? Bend the front knee, come back to warrior 1, hands over your head. Beautiful job. Pick up that back heel And I'm going to have you join me with lowering your right hand to the floor in a twist, left hand up. Again, you could be doing the opposite of me, and that's fine. So whatever knee is forward, that opposite hand is on the mat. Good, and then if you want, stay here and enjoy this beautiful rotation of the spine, or push into your front foot and join me back into high lunge, and then return with a strong core into your twist. We'll do that 2 more times. Again, a little more advanced. Feel free to practice where you are best served. Holding your next twist, drop the back knee, swing both arms over your head, crescent moon. Some of you might need to place your hands on your lap for modification. Otherwise, those arms are upright, and most of us are going to stay right here. And some of us might open up the arms, tilt back in a beautiful extension in the back, gazing up. Good. One more breath wherever you've chosen to be. Meet me back with your hands on the mat. Let's put both hands to the inside of the front foot and walk the front foot to the edge of the mat, nice and wide. And then open up that left arm for a beautiful twist. So here's the thing. Whatever knee is forward, that's the same arm that's forward. In my case, it's left. It might be right with you. But take that top arm to the opposite corner of the front of you, the front of the room, that your front knee is going. So my left knee is pointing to the left, but my left hand is reaching to the right. Take your time, see if you can expand by letting your hips fall forward. And then join me back down with your hand. Great job. Let's just move right to left a little bit. Enjoy. Take a deep breath, and when you're ready, join me in downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Mini vinyasa or a rest period, you decide. Whatever you've decided, joining us back in downward facing dog, getting ready to walk back to the top of the mat. Take your time. When you arrive, enjoy a nice deep fold. Again, we're heading towards chair, so big toes together option, or wider feet. Drop your head. Good. Come into a deep squat. If the toes are touching, so are the knees, and either add the challenge or hands on your lap. Move the knees back so you can see that they're back from the toes, and lift the navel away from the earth. Good. Again, harder challenges out front. Meeting me in chair next, squeezing those knees. Good. And then into an easy back bend, reach back with the back of your hands, and then exhale to a squat. Hands up behind you. Let's do that 2 more times, all the way up and all the way back. Good. One more, all the way up. Hold your squat and meet me back in chair. Option to lift those heels and balance. A little shaking, a little uncomfortableness in those legs maybe, but that's okay. Just don't create any negative energy around that. Just say, interesting, I have shaking legs. And easy forward fold. Take your time, shake your head. Good, and then bend the knees. Come into your second challenge, squatting deep, arms extended, back flat. Hands on the lap, the modified version, or arms forward towards the front of the room. Navel up, nice and strong. Join me in plank. Feel that strong presence. Get ready, stay in your chair. Pick up your left foot and step back into your warrior one. Find warrior one. Easy movement until you find the strength to pause. Some of you will stay here, others of you will open up, tilting the head back and looking up. Good. Whatever pose you're in, feel the beauty of it, feel the strength, feel how you're connecting your breath to it. Good, and then arms back over your head, and then halfway down, open up to the open side, take a breath, swing to the closed side, take a breath. Bring the hands together out in front. Push into both feet, stay here, push into the pads of the fingers, or lean out for a strong core, holding extension on the back, breath in and out. Don't rush your breathing here. There's a tendency to rush when we're challenged, but let's see if we can bring a full deep breath in. Good, and then up with your hands on your next breath. Beautiful job, everybody. Enjoy the pose. Let your hands soften, and then pick up your back heel and let's come into Warrior Two. Another strong pose. Take your time. Bend and unbend that right knee a moment or two, and then feel the pose develop and get stronger for you. Notice your stamina. Be consistent in calling on your breath to help you. Good. And then let's come into that peaceful warrior, left hand on the back leg, right arm over your head, or it could be your right knee is forward, right hand is up, or your left knee is forward, left hand is up. You're just doing you today. Nice work. We're going to try to add a straightened arm and leg reverse triangle. Again, a little more advanced. Feel free to stay in the pose you were in, especially if it felt good. And then let's rise back, legs straight, arms out strong, and then come to a beautiful stretch here. Feel it? Push down with your feet, lift up from the center of you to your fingertips. Nice. Triangle pose is next. You're going to push that hip back to meet the back hip, reach forward, and drop your hand. We're trying to radiate in this pose and feel a consistency and lengthening the entire body. Push down into your front toe, pull your hip to the back of the room, and maybe take your gaze up. More challenging, yes. Good. Meet me back in Warrior Two. Take your time, and then take your hands forward, picking up your back heel. Hands over your head, high lunge, and into a twist. Left hand down to your right foot, or just the opposite. So whatever knee is forward, your opposite hand is on the floor. You're in a twist. Feel that here, or join me back into a high lunge with an inhale, and back to a twist with a strong core exhale. Take your time, use your breath to guide you in your movement here. Trust you, your strength. You have time for one more. We'll all meet in the twist. Good. Right hand, left hand, both on the inside of the foot. Move the foot to the far edge of the mat. Toe turned out slightly. Drop the knee. And when you're ready, the foot that is forward, that hand comes back up for a beautiful lift as you look up. So right now, my right knee is forward, pointing to the front side of the room. My right hand is up, and so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to take my right hand to the left corner of the room. So if your left hand is on the ground, you're doing it like me. If your left knee is forward, then your left arm is pointing to the right side of the room, so just the opposite. Feel that nice stretch. Stay here for a breath. And meet me back down with both hands on the ground. Good. Child's pose might be a nice option for some of you, or meet me in down dog. And a possible vinyasa flow. Take your time. Do your breath. Feel all that beautiful sensation of energy in your body. And everybody's going to meet in child's pose. Head down, elbows down, and pause. So I'd like you to keep your forehead on the floor. Consider bringing your hands back, palms up, and then moving your elbows away from your center until they can drop to the earth. Now I'm going to come up because it's just harder to hear me when I'm down there, as good as that feels. Now I want you to take a few breaths and direct them behind the heart. So when you breathe in, it feels like you're adding energy, you're adding space, and you're giving that back energy behind the heart an opportunity to move any negative energy that's held there. Behind the heart is where we often secure things that scare us or we don't want to deal with. So it can get tight on us. And this is a great way to just be compassionate, to move into that space with a few breaths. Good. 2 more breaths here. Just take your time. Really enjoy that softening of the middle back, the mid-thoracic spine. Bathe it with the energy of your inhale and exhale. Sit up briefly. Option to place the hands right there on the kidneys in a modified camel, or join me in full camel if you would like, coming up off your heels. This is definitely more advanced. It requires you to support the pose with your lower core, so make sure you're lifting up from the pelvic core. You can place your hands here. This would be a nice place to just see how it feels and come back down if it doesn't feel right to you. Some of you are going to go ahead and place one or both heels and hands together. Again, lift up from the lower belly, keeping the top of the hip bones right above your knees. And then maybe loosen up your jaw, still looking forward, and drop your right ear to your right shoulder and let your head fall back so you're gazing at the back of the room. So camel is a pose that sometimes when it's over, we need to get out. Just think about if you're coming out of it before I do, please place your hands back on your lower back, re-engage your core, and use both your hands and core to come back up. I'm going to do that now. I'm bringing one of my hands up and my other, bracing the core, lifting my hands against my back as I rise up, and then back to that soft fold child's pose, moving into a gentle breath back and forth along the spine. Elbows wide again, drop them down. And let's get ready to move on. Let's swing our feet out in front of us. Meet me back in a seated pose. So everybody doing okay? Let's take it down a little slower now. Just take a moment to feel whatever it is you're feeling. Maybe your heart rate's up a little bit. Maybe some of those resistant places in your body aren't quite so resistant anymore. You're feeling a better flow of your energy. Let's take a full breath, hands over our heads. And let them go. Good. Let's come into a straddle next. And just kind of rock right to left. Maybe pull your muscles away so you have a stronger connection into the sit bones. And then again, just wander right to left a few times. We're going to stay to the right, placing our right arm down on the inside of the right leg. Some of you will be all the way up here. Some of you will be all the way down on your elbow. And then the left arm is going to reach away from the right foot. So feel your right toes, push away with them, and then pull away with that left hand. Prepare for a side bend, left arm over the top of your head to that right leg. So how far you go with this is up to you. If you can grab that right big toe, good. If you can't, good. It's all okay. We're just trying to find what feels the best in our body, not what is going to hurt us tomorrow. Good, and then I'm going to have you come back up. Beautiful. Take another deep breath in. And here we go to the left. Same thing, that side bend, using whatever works for you on this side. So I have found that I'm exactly not the same on each side, and maybe I can really take a nice side bend on one and not so much on the other. It doesn't matter. The assessment is in what is feeling good to you. Is it feeling good to do more and ask a little more of your body today? Do that. If it doesn't, then don't. And then up with a big stretch. Beautiful job. Let's let our hands just fall down. I'm going to have you meet me on the mat all the way back onto your spine. Take your time, roll back onto your back. And when you get there, let's go ahead and just pull our knees into our chest and roll around right to left a little bit. This letting go of the spinal column is an important part of moving towards our final pose. So just give yourself a moment to feel your mat, the earth. Happy baby option, maybe just pull your shins apart or lift up the feet and grab hold as you relax the shoulders and arms. No matter what you've chosen, either holding the shins and knees or the feet, try to bring your tailbone a little closer to the earth or all the way down if you can. And then fill the lower belly with full breaths, in and out. Take one more breath. Draw the knees together, hands behind the knees to support extension, and just turn those ankles a few times in the biggest circle as you can. Stretch your toes while you're at it. And when you're ready, you'll refold the knees into the chest, wrapping the arms strong, and maybe drawing your nose all the way up to your knees. Exhale here. Safely lower the head, and let's place our feet right on down below the knees bent. And let's walk our feet out and knees until they're about shoulder width apart. Relax your arms and just do a few windshield wipers now. Easy does it. Again, we're moving towards slowing the body down until we are finally in our final pose of Shavasana. So this requires some mindful slowing down of the breath right now as you windshield wiper those legs. Go as far as you can with your range of motion. Let's do one more to each side. And then you'll go ahead and take a moment to settle back to center with your legs. Feet are still wide. Drop your knees into a relaxed pose, just dropping in, not trying to force the knees to touch, just letting them roll inward. Take a moment to stretch the arms all the way back. Maybe fingernails touch the floor before dropping the arms down to your sides. I don't know, about 30 degrees away from the hips. Palms up, shuffle the shoulders gently away from you, down towards your hips. This pose of constructive knee pose can be a perfect option for you to settle into for your Shavasana or anything else that might sound good to you. Extended legs out to the front corners of the mat, more traditional. Just get comfortable. Take your next 3 breaths to adjust, to drop in, to slow down, and to eventually, on the last 3rd breath, close your eyes. So we have arrived together in stillness, observing this stillness as yet another teacher. Noticing first, what are our thoughts as we try to rest? Seeing if you can just note what they are and then give yourself permission to let them go. And then bring your attention to your breath and notice where your breath is as you inhale and exhale. Allow the breath to be more soft and peaceful, more gentle, more calm. Allow your mind to scan and wander through the body from top to bottom, compassionately checking in, letting go, softening. If your mind wanders off of your mat and away from this purpose, this honoring of the body in stillness, Just note what took you away and arrive back even more compassionate, more kind as you watch your next 3 breaths. And then let's wiggle our toes. Let's arrive back just feeling better. Hopefully this time to connect, to strengthen, to endure some challenges, and to just breathe brought you to a better place mentally and physically. Let's take a bright stretch, both arms back, both legs forward. Just take your time, big breath. And then join me in a seated pose, maybe just rolling to one side first before coming up. Once we arrive in our seated pose, let's take a moment and close our eyes here. Again, drawing the hands right back, pressing against the heart. Taking a moment just to notice what shifts have occurred, even in the energy of the heart that you are now readdressing. Thank you all for joining me in this practice. Continuing to connect with you has really helped myself and so many of my friends just get through what we're traveling through right now. And again, we're here to help each other. Hopefully this has brightened your day a bit. And again, I know you have brightened so many others, and I thank you for that. Again, take care. Namaste.